under Nixon? Carter? Carter?
Yes,
Because I know Department of Education was under Carter.
The thing I saw, he said that it was during his administration, they still have the same mission, they still haven't accomplished it, and they got 16,000.
And the mission was to decrease U.S. dependence on foreign energy sources and to create more conservation. But yet their budget has inflated, they've grown more people. And by the way, Department of Energy, and Gary, maybe you can chime in on this. Department of Energy has a Secretary of Energy that has 2 or 3 security guards around him at all times. They very much, it's not a secret service. I believe it's a special police force that the Department of Energy specifically has. And when Spence Abraham, remember him? Yeah. Our U.S., yeah. One of our former U.S. senators? Spence Abraham, when he was the Secretary of Energy, wherever he went, he had these 3 security guards. I mean, we are bloated. It's like the Kwame Kilpatrick administration. Remember that? Remember he went, he had 12 police officers around him with all you know, the earpieces. We are bloated and we're too self-important. My dad always taught me in government, and this is a guy that fought his way to be an American and taught me a love and respect for America, and he never missed an election. Check out his voting record, Gary, nor did I. My dad had this theory, and he'd stick a glass with water and have me put my finger in it, and he said, "Are you displacing water?" I'd say, "Yeah." He said, "Now stick it out." And as I sticked it out, the water obviously filled up, and he said, "Did it fill up the mold that you displaced?" "Yeah." He says, "Remember that. No one's indispensable. We're all individuals, but no one's indispensable." And the Department of Energy and all these individuals we keep hiring, we're making government bigger and stronger than the private sector. Can I add one last thing, sir, if I may? I was in Washington about 4 months ago, and yes, I did knock on your door, Gary, or our door, excuse me. I did knock on your door. You weren't there. I didn't leave a note. But I went to Washington, and the reason I was there to meet with newspaper agencies and to let them know that, yes, we have a race here, and to please cover us. And I sat in the lobby of a newspaper company called the Washington Examiner. And it was just serendipitous that I happened to be sitting, and they have this, one of those old-style metal newspaper cases with their newspapers, so you could pull one out and read it in the lobby as you're sitting there. Instead of old magazines, they have their current newspaper. So I opened one up. I thought it was kind of cute. You didn't have to pay for it either. It was free. So I pulled one out, and I started reading it, and I looked back at the cover sheet, and it said, "Government #1 employer." And I still have it. I wish I would have brought it. Yeah. Government #1 employer. Here's what they said. We are all from Oakland County, Michigan here, right? Except, are you, Paul? Gary? Okay. Can anyone tell me, 5-10 years ago, was Oakland County in the top 5 of the richest counties in the United States? Yeah. You remember what it was? It fluctuated between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We were always the richest counties in the United States, right? Guess where we are today? Lower. 61st richest county. Jump on Google. Punch in richest counties in the United States. We're 61 now. Do you know that the #1 richest counties, the top 25, are all around government institutions? Alexandria and others. They're all around government institutions. And I mean, the newspapers, even on the left and the right, they don't lie, that the largest employers now with the largest paychecks happen to be the federal government. The federal government. And for Gary to say that he fought pay increases in Washington for legislators, I don't see the results of that. I think you've increased your pay while holding Social Security frozen for 2 years and giving the military piss poor raises. But that beside the point, legislators always know how to serve themselves. So Gary, take note on that one. But that's a problem. What's that?
He's increased your pay.
My military pay?
Future pay.
Oh, I don't, that's not why I'm running. I assure you. Sir, you wanted a reason to vote for our candidate. When I was elected to the State House, I was the only legislator that, and Gary, you can check this out, I was the only legislator that opted out of his retirement and health benefits. So,
Wow.
that helps.